That's how I was thinking. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
You look hella nervous.
Shut the fuck up.
Just sitting there like, yeah.
You keep saying I'm nervous. You're making me nervous. I'm not nervous, you fucker. I'm Ben. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Boston, Mass. And this is my night style driver profile. I'm so close! I'm literally like a millimeter away! Bro, if you would've clutched me, you would've...
What do you drive?
I drive a 2000 Mazda Miata. I've owned it for about 3 years, and it's been a wild ride. I think right now I have about $20,000 into it. Doesn't look like it, but I've got fabulous Autolab cut knuckles with stock tie rods and stock everything, like everything else. It's got DC Racing coils, and it's on Mega Squirt. That's about it for the most part. It's got a deuce kit from Firefly Speed Shop. It's got 3-piece wheels, 3-piece Meister CR01s, and then I drift on Work CR Kais, and then I have some other things. I drift on Molly Champs too, and some other piece of shit wheels that just happen to be around.
Talk about your interior.
I don't want to talk about my interior. It's too much money. Alright, so my interior, I think, is a Recaro Profi seat with the Garage Star seat rails. I've got a Sparco Champion 330 wheel with titanium hardware. I've got the Hard Dog roll bar, the Ace bar with the dual diagonal and the harness bar, which is pretty cool. I've got Takata harnesses, which I think they're still up to date. I'm not sure, but whatever. And I have a Tomei shift knob, which I put in every car. It is awesome. It's a little short one. It's all black, silicone, mint.
What different kinds of stages have your car gone through? Yeah.
You really want to talk about stages? Jesus. I'm gonna have to send you like a bunch of pictures and shit so you can put in the video. But when I first got it, it went through a real stance boy phase. Oh, I say stance boy with like a grain of salt because it wasn't even crazy low. It was just super wide wheels, and then I dumped it, and then it rubbed everywhere. And then I went through like another phase where I wanted like the stance look with the with a track oriented thing. So I had like a duck tail, and it looked really gross. And then it went through another phase. It went through another phase with a big wing, and it looked ignorant. I didn't run a front bumper for a little bit. I didn't run a rear bumper. Awful, absolutely awful. But now we've matured, thank God. We've gone deuce kit, nice wheels. Not super ignorant. Doesn't scream pull me over as much anymore. And now we just drift the shit out of it.
What made you decide this was a car for you?
I didn't. Alright, so I got into Miatas, sadly, because of Haggard Garage. I was 14, 15. I think everyone that's owned a Miata, has watched their videos and what they did and all that shit. And, it was really cool, and I was like, damn, I really want to do that shit. I want a Miata. And I turned 18, I graduated high school, and I bought one. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it as soon as I got it. I didn't know I was going to be drifting it, that's for sure. I was driving home from work one day, and my diff blew on the highway, and it spun me out, put me into the Jersey barrier. The car was nice and clean, and then after that, I just decided to drift it. It wasn't worth it anymore. The front end is crooked a little bit. The rear end was up on the wall, and the bumpers were totaled. It was just a real sad day at the office, but Here we are now.
Do you regret buying it?
Do I? I don't know. So, you know, hey! Do I regret buying my car? The fuck? Do I regret buying the car? Some days I do, some days I don't, but in the long run, the car's taught me so much. And I love this car now. It's my car, it's my baby.
If there's one thing you could tell past you about the car, what would it be?
Don't buy this one. I should have, when I bought this car, I was just so excited into getting it. I didn't realize that the diff housing was re-welded. I didn't, go in depth into looking at the car's like actual body, because the rear end it was actually rear-ended on the driver's side, and so they pulled it out and then they put the bumper back on. It looked perfectly fine, but that's one thing that's always killed me, is that the car wasn't perfect when I bought it. And that's something that I always tell myself, that I want another chassis. Well, not like another chassis, but like another shell, and then put everything into it. But that's something I would tell my old self when I was going to buy this car. But if I could tell something else, I would say save up for that S chassis, you stupid fuck.
How long have you been drifting your car?
Last year was my first full season, and it wasn't even a full season. It was like 3/4 of the season. And then this year was my first full season where I hit every event. So 2, and then the year before that I only drifted 2 events. So I think, yeah, I can confidently say like 2 years, yeah. And then streeting and stuff like that, but I didn't even know what I was doing before, this year. So can't really say much about that. Yeah, no, I've been drifting just a tiny bit over 2 years. So.
What was your first introduction to drifting?
To drifting or to racing, or like not racing, but like cars?
Just start with
Cars? Alright. So I was about like 6 or 7, and my uncle took me to the street races, because he was into that scene, he was older or whatever, but he took me. I didn't know what the fuck anything was, but I just knew that the cars were cool. And from there, he gave me the little dabble, and then from there on, it was like, oh, I want to play a racing game. Oh, I want Hot Wheels and stuff like that. And then as I grew a little bit older, I finally watched like Fast and the Furious and stuff like that. And I think that's a lot of people's like introduction into cars, like fully was, Fast and the Furious and stuff like that. But it was definitely that. And then Tokyo Drift came out, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck is drifting? It was like, it's probably not like the best example, but like, it got me into like questioning what drifting was. And then after that movie, I would look on, YouTube, watch old drifting videos and stuff like that, whatever I could. And then, as I grew a little older, the addiction sets in. You go down the rabbit hole a lot, And then I got into anime, and then I watched Initial D, and then that was like a real kick in the pants, to get a drift car and shit. But yeah, no, it was definitely like a combination of all that. And then, knowing that people actually do it, around me, and that was cool too. And then, knowing that there was drift events around me, that was probably like what got me into drifting. Getting my first rear-wheel drive car and everything like that. And then I went to my first drift event. I didn't know what I was doing. We just happened, me and Daniel, another driver, we driver. He just hit me up one day. He's like, yo, you want to go drifting? And I was like, sure. And then we went. And then little did we know we were going to get addicted. And then now here we are. Kind of crazy.
Being a skater, drifting catches your eye more than anything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like being from the skating, BMXing, like stuff like that.
Honestly,
Like seeing drifting makes you like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, you know, definitely like drifting has like the same vibe as skating. Definitely, you know. You just have like the don't care attitude, you know. You're just about having fun, you know, fucking around with the guy, like with the guys and everything. It's just the vibe is the same, you know. I was skating what 7th, 8th grade, into a little bit into high school. It was a fun time, you know. I didn't care, you know. It was a real crazy time, you know. And then I got into drifting, and it was like basically like the same vibe, the same mindset, you know. Just go, have fun, get better, you know. You fall in skating, you get right back up, you go right back at it. Same thing with car. You fuck up the car, you fix the car, you go right back at it. You know what I mean? It doesn't deter you from driving. You know, you get as much seat time as possible. Same thing with skating. You just try to skate as much as possible. You skate everywhere, you know? That's definitely... I think, yeah, definitely skating will influence... Well, not influence you, but drifting will definitely be your cup of tea if you're a skater. Definitely.
For this season, how's drifting been for you?
This season?
Yeah.
Jesus. This season has been something else. I started this season a C class. And a couple events ago, I got bumped to A class. Right there, baby. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, but it's definitely been a crazy learning curve. I don't think I would have ever, you know, been able, like, I don't think, how do I put it? I don't think that I would have advanced this much in drifting in such a short amount of time, in like a year. You know, because I see all these crazy, you know, cars and all these crazy drivers and stuff like that. They've been driving years before me, you know? And it's like, it's crazy, you know? And I'm really grateful to, you know, to be able to do all this and stuff like that. You know, and I really got to thank my tandem partner, Dustin, you know, my boy. He's the one that made my cut knuckles. He's really pushed me to be a better driver, definitely, you know, and, you know, thanks to him, you know, he's showing me how to drive, you know, really well, and, you know, not to be scared of going fast and stuff, you know, so, it's been a good year.
Mexico track.
Jesus Christ. Well, for legal purposes, I have to say track, but, you know, when you find that nice Mexico spot, you know, you just gotta hit. It is what it is, you know?
Where do you see yourself in the future with drifting?
Not competing. That's for damn sure. I want to keep drifting for me, hobby, hopefully, you know. You know, I don't want to make it a job. I would love to make it a job, don't get me wrong, but hopefully it just stays as a hobby, you know. I can enjoy myself. It's my goal. It's, you know, it's my getaway from work and bullshit, you know. It's just a good pastime. But where do I see my car in the future? Well, hopefully this stays, you know. Hopefully I don't beat it up too much. Hope to see myself in an S chassis or an FC sometime soon. This will always be like a reliable seat time car. I daily it, take it to work, back, go out, fuck off, you know, all that shit. But definitely hope to see myself in a little bit bigger chassis. Jay-Z swapped. I don't care what it is, as long as it's Jay-Z swapped, I'll be happy. But yeah, no. Definitely find myself drifting like until I'm 80, hopefully. Hopefully I can afford it until then. Hopefully I'm alive then. The way I like to drive, it's just, it'll probably kill me before then. Like, alright. Getting into drifting. Do you like drifting? Do you like cars going sideways? Do you like, you know, tires shredding off, and you like breaking your car intentionally and shit like that? Fuck it, yeah, it's a good sport. You know, it's fun. It really gets the stress out. It's fun. To get into it, just find a group of people that like what you like, you know? Go to an event. Make friends, you know? drifting community is a really open community from what I've, been a part of and stuff like that. It's definitely a blast, and if you want to actually like drive, get whatever car is rear-wheel drive. Whatever car you like, make it work, you know what I mean? I made the Miata work. It's not the best drift car, but it'll teach you, people start with FCs or people start with BMWs, you know what I mean? I chose a Miata. I didn't just quit, after I couldn't link a track, the first 3 times, It was a learning process, Every car you get, there's a learning curve. You'll get it, eventually. So as long as you have like the dedication, the drive, you just want to keep going. As long as you're having fun, it's all that matters, So just get out there and do it.
What makes a good driver?
What makes a good driver? Consistency. Definitely my biggest thing, consistency. It's definitely been that's definitely like the top of my list. Being consistent and just having trust in yourself, Because if you're consistent enough, you just drive the track, drive it nice, drive it smooth, drive it fast. It looks good, Get the good snappy transition going and everything like that. And then just having some style, Don't just go in and use all your power just to go into a power slide. No, you give that clutch kick, you know what I mean? Have some style with it, get the snappy transition going and stuff. These aren't things that make like a really good driver. It's just what I think looks cool, And it's like I make my driving style about, being, snappy and being consistent. You're not spinning out all the time. You're not crashing into barriers and the things that, set up the track and stuff. Because then you're taking away from seat time from all these other people, and then you look like an asshole, I don't want to be that asshole at the track. There's nothing wrong with crashing, you can crash, you go fix it and come back, doesn't matter. But like, if you're consistently crashing, if you're consistently going off track, you're just making it harder for everyone else. So definitely what makes a good driver, back to the key point, is just consistency and style, Like progressing in your chassis, progressing as a driver in general. I would definitely say just drive it every day. I'm a firm believer if you can't daily drive your drift car, you don't have a good drift car, I know some people may take offense to that, but like, I daily drive my drift car. My drift car works at every drift event, I'm able to go to every drift event, beat the shit out of it, come home, So it's just in learning your car and progressing in your car is not just about, going to the track every time in your car. It's more about driving it every day, learning its quirks, learning where the power likes to be, you know what I mean? Because I know, I used to have an NA that the power really loved, 5.5 to 6.5, and that's where like it loved to be there. My car likes $4,000 to $6,000. The power's all there, It's granted the NA wasn't a healthy car, but. This isn't either, but that's where the power likes to be. You daily driving your car, learning your car like that, it gives you that little one-up advantage than the people that trailer their cars to events. Don't drive their car every day. You know what I mean? And then another thing is that this goes for a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, but this goes for especially to the beginners. Don't go and throw your money all in mods right away. Go and drift the car, see what you want, see what you need from it. If you have a lot of body roll, get some coilovers. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to be the most expensive set of coilovers, but something to get rid of that body roll. Don't throw angle at it, don't throw a bunch of power at it, right off the bat, because that's not learning your car. You learn the car by driving around the car. That's how you become a better driver. That's how you progress in your chassis, and that's how you gain confidence in your chassis. Is when you're working around these problems, and then when you can drive really, really good with those problems, then you can fix those problems, For example, I didn't have cut knuckles, I don't have any power adders, it's just Mega Squirt for the pop tune, because I'm a ricer. But I didn't have angle mods or anything like that. It was just stock angle, stock power, driving events. and I was, I learned how to link the course. I learned where I needed to clutch kick. I learned where I needed to clutch kick 5 times, in a turn to get the wheels, keep the wheels spinning. But I learned, and then I got upgraded to B class at Lock City, and I still had stock angle, and I was drifting the clubhouse circuit. And then from there, I decided to throw my angle in, and then now I can throw as much angle as I need. I don't just go full lock. That's just leads to sloppy driving and lazy driving. But it's all progression. Progress with your car. When you outgrow your current setup, then you can change the setup. You know what I mean? Don't go throw $1,000, $2,000 angle kit on there. And still not know how to drive, because it's gonna look bad. You're gonna drive slow, and then it's just not cool.
So what do you love about drifting?
Pretty loaded question. What do I love about drifting? It's just like a community that all have the same mindset. I love it. Break your car, look cool doing it, and just have a great old time with your friends. That's what I love about it.
Where can we follow you?
Follow me? Got my Instagram at NosBoy17. You got my TikTok at NosBoy17. That's all I got. I mean, you can find me on Facebook. I mean, fucking my first and last name, it's whatever. And then I don't have Twitter. I should get Twitter, shouldn't I? Twitter be having some funny ass shit. But yeah, no, that's basically it. Instagram and Snapchat and shit like that. Just at NosBoy17. Fucker, no. Peace.
With the night backdrop, popping on pills like a pop cough drops. Multi-millionaire out from my laptop. Stop on my knob until you draw lock. Came a long way from rocks on my side. Walk on the block while I'm sipping on pop. Took a whole year off and we still on top. Still the same boy that came from Jefferson Street. Yeah, still the best friend that the devil keep.
Send it. That's so sick.